I'm just here questioning the questioner because somebody has to do it, right? I certainly do feel some type of way about this. I'm not just going on feelings, vibes, a hunch here. I'm not just going to wildly speculate with little to no basis. No. If I believe something, I'm going to tell you exactly why I believe it. I'm going to tell you what that belief is based upon. And if there are sources, which there should be, I'm going to show you those sources as well. And these things are always subject to change, just like people's opinions. But when someone is introducing implication after implication after implication in the name of investigation, you know they're pulling your leg. They just are. And that's exactly what Candace Owens has been doing for nearly 6 months now. So I know my humble show isn't much to look at. Shucks, I don't even have my collar sorted out here. But I'm doing my best, and you can do the rest. So let me know in the comments below what you think, what you know. I'm going to read through this comment. I'll actually pull it up on the screen, and then I'll read my response to it, which YouTube keeps deleting, apparently. Alright, here's what someone by the name of Jason said to me in response to one of my recent uploads titled, Candace Owens will go on and on and on and dig in further even when she is 100% in the wrong. And that was something someone said about her approximately 10 years ago, an old comment which I found. You can check out that video if you want to know more about that. But onto this comment by Jason. He asked, what is the purpose here? You have to find dirt that has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk? This so-called hit piece, LOL, is because you disagree with what specifically about what Candace published? I think that's a question, but his punctuation is a little bit off. Do you think Erica's behavior coming out to pyrotechnics and glitter, throwing up devil horns, is how someone grieves? Or do you think her comments, my husband is dead, not to be morbid, but he is dead? Fact check true. Is normal behavior? Or do you think putting up a replica of where Charlie was shot for selfies is normal? I mean, it's not just where he was shot. It's what he did regularly. It was kind of his thing. Just saying. What do you disagree with? I'm sure someone has some crazy info on everyone. Oh, wait. Are you a Jew? Is that where this hate comes from? Right, so because I have an opinion, because I dare question the questioner, I must be both hateful and also a Jew. Well, the fact that you would assume that I'm a Jew tells me that you hate the Jews. I feel like that's not as much of a leap as the leap you're making, Jason. But no, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate Candace, and I certainly don't hate you. I will point out that Erica has more of a reason to hate than anyone else. Her husband was assassinated after all, and what did she do? She said that she forgave Tyler Robinson. Candace Owens can't even forgive Erica Kirk. Guess Candace Owens is the lesser woman here. That much is clear. Not to beat around the bush, I do think that most of those points raised, those questions asked in that comment are quite stupid and simple-minded, to say the least. But I did my due diligence, and I'm going to go ahead and read the extensive comment which I attempted to leave in response to Jason. Wait, I'm only allowed to look for dirt related to Charlie Kirk? Is that like an unwritten rule or something? It's my channel, and I can talk about whatever I feel compelled to talk about. If you think my video is a hit piece, while Candace's Bride of Chucky themed docuseries of digs at Erica's entire ancestry and attempts to prove she's a Jew is just good journalism, then you're as dumb as a bucket of doorknobs. All Candace is digging for are new plot twists to keep the attention on her. What she's doing does nothing for Charlie, unless you actually believe, as Candace claims, that he's visiting her in her dreams from purgatory and telling her that he supports her over his own widow, and that he wants to free Tyler Robinson in favor of prosecuting the most global conglomerate of suspects and boogeymen in the history of stupidity. Candace hasn't visited the crime scene, doesn't talk to eyewitnesses, and touts more anonymous sources than MSM. That's mainstream media, in case you were wondering. Candace couldn't care less about anyone who's actually involved, is doing everything she can to destroy Charlie's life work and legacy, and the only person other than herself she has helped in all of this is Mitch Snow, a serial conspiracy kook and abuser, whom she raised thousands of dollars for so she could use him to make the accusations she was pretending she wasn't trying to make. Remember when Candace said she'd stop if Erica told her to? Remember when she said it was a lie that she was going after Erica? Remember when she said she was glad it was Erica who took over tpusa? All lies, and her lies are endless. If you can't handle me questioning the questioner, that's a you problem, because you're a group-thinking Candace groupie griping about what a widow dares to wear when she's apparently supposed to both live up to the hype of her husband and wear sackcloth and ashes all at once. Candace gives no grace, yet you expect all of my grace to go to her. As though I wouldn't go bankrupt on the outfits she sits behind her screen wearing every day. The normal behavior talking points are brain-rotted drivel. There's no normal response to something as abnormal as public assassination. If you can't comprehend how Erica can put a smile on and try to encourage others even as Candace scowls and scoffs at everyone from her safe space, you need to touch some grass and grow up. You're repeating the word pyrotechnics because you've been told it's somehow suspicious. It's exactly what Charlie would have wanted, though, and it's not even new for them. Additionally, as her husband's torchbearer, she's expected to keep the show going after the main event has been murdered. Don't pretend it makes no sense. You clearly lack the resilience Erica displays, and no manufactured outrage about selectively interpreted hand gestures and out-of-context quotes make your argument the morally superior one. You're the one who supports smearing the widow before the dust from the actual suspect's murder trial can settle. Conspiracy is the current thing these days, and you're welcome to ride that bandwagon off the cliff of insanity, but I refuse. My hit piece is sharing documented information about Candace and letting people decide what they think about it. Meanwhile, she implicates everyone and their mother in ways she doesn't even have the competence to prove. I mean, the woman literally didn't know that thunder came from lightning until 2024. True story. Again, as opposed to Candace, who married George on a whim without any romance being between them, Charlie chose to marry a Miss Arizona pageant princess whom he adored. To act shocked that she'd choose to sparkle when she unexpectedly found herself in the spotlight of her husband's legacy shows only your ignorance. For all you know, she's striving to honor him while Candace is complaining about how much money they're making after claiming they were going to collapse because she was exposing them. No, the only motive Candace has exposed in all of this is her own. And what her merry band of bird brains don't seem to appreciate is that it would literally make more sense to allege that she had Charlie Kirk killed than it does to allege whatever the heck she's even alleging 6 months into her spiteful, self-obsessed investigation. There you have it. I could go on and on. Sure, Candace is just another flawed human being, but the problem is she's signing a big freaking check that she can't possibly cash. She knows this, but she's riding the high of her #1 podcast, numbers. She represents only herself and her own brand these days, or shall I say her own ego. She is the grift. Not just the grifter, she is the grift. And she's not going to stop anytime soon. She could never hold up to her own level of scrutiny. She's a hypocrite in every way, so her projection is her deflection, and she's not going to stop moving the goalpost until people forget what sport they're playing. By the way, no, I'm not a Jew, and your baseless assumption says far more about you, Jason, than it says about me. As does the fact that you think I'm the one blinded by hate. Wake up, dude. The level of cognitive dissonance on social media is sad. I rest my case.